Hi YouTube. I just decided that I would make a video about how Disney princesses affect little girls nowadays. I read an article today in one of my classes that said that Disney princesses impact little girls to feel like they should be beautiful. That, well, apparently, hold on. "47% of girls in 5th to 12th grade have reported wanting to lose weight because of magazine pictures and Disney movies. They feel obligated to relate to these Disney princesses. It has been said that there was studies done in a kindergarten classroom that said that, like, what do you want to be when you grew up? And draw it. Most little boys drew firefighters and cars and stuff like that. Realistic stuff that shows that they are dreaming and that they want to do something and that they want to explore the world. And little girls drew things like ballerinas and fairies and princesses, meaning that they want to explore feminism. And, sorry, I thought I heard something. And 69% of girls in 5th to 12th grade reported that magazine pictures influenced their idea of a perfect body shape. 42% of 1st to 3rd grade girls want to be thinner. 81% of 10-year-olds are afraid of being fat. When you're a child or a kid, or I guess anywhere up to 13 years of age, that is a time where you should be playing without having to think about society and everything that that affects them. It says, according to a study done by colleagues at the American Journal of Psychiatry in 2009, crude mortality rates were 4% for anorexia nervosa, 3.9% for bulimia nervosa, 5.2% for eating disorder not otherwise specified. And it's just terrible. Little kids who are supposed to be able to play without even thinking about anything, they just concentrate on what they should play with, are actually saying that they would like to be skinnier and that they fear being fat. That is how bad our society has turned out. I hear that a lot of little kids are stereotyping, and I didn't really think about it when I was in kindergarten because all I wanted to do was play. But now that I think about it, even when you're younger, you adapt from what your parents think and say and do. And a lot of little kids nowadays are, no, you're a girl, you can't play with trucks. If they're little boys, they can't play with Barbies. If they're little girls, they have to be in the kitchen playing cook, or in the kitchen playing house. Or when they're house, they're mommies, or babies, or nurses, or girlfriends. And the boys are just the ones that do the boy things. And it is estimated that 10 to 20% of Canadian youth are affected by a mental illness or disorder. And that today, approximately 5% of male youth and 12% of female youth aged 12 to 19 have experienced a major depressive episode in their life. The total number of 12 to 19-year-olds in Canada The total number of 12 to 19-year-olds in Canada at risk for developing depression is a staggering 3.2 million. In my opinion, that is because of the way society affects us. The way society says that this body type is portrayed as fat, and that if you're fat, you're not beautiful. And currently, I don't even know if anyone's going to watch this video because of how crappy I think I look right now. Everyone wakes up in the morning, and almost every girl I know has problems with the way they look because of how society portrays beautiful. I know a lot of people who wake up in the morning and love the way they look, but that's because what society tells them is beautiful is what they see themselves as. I have woken up seeing myself as disgusting. I've wanted my body to change, and I figure it's because of the way the society we were born into has portrayed what a beautiful young teenage girl should look like and what a beautiful adult woman should look like. And we strive so much for that perfection that it actually causes eating disorders like anorexia and bulimia. It causes depression. It causes so many other mental illnesses that we don't even notice them anymore. That society actually triggers them as something else. It tells us, oh, the reason you're depressed is because your hormones are out of whack. No. Yeah, my hormones may be out of whack, and I may be like, ooh, sex. No. I don't want sex. I don't want anyone to touch me. Don't touch me. That type of thing. It could make us do that, but I'm pretty sure that the reason a lot of young teenage girls and young teenage boys are depressed is because they feel as if they don't fit into society. Which is really terrible, because it used to be that you could dress a boy in girls' clothes, that you had to dress a boy in girls' clothes up until they were a certain age. In some cultures, they still do. And that little boy wouldn't get made fun of. But now if a little boy picks up a Barbie, ew, you're gay. Even in little kids. Yes, they adapt from what us teenagers say. I hear it every day in the hallway. I hear it all the time at school. I personally don't want to have kids right now. Well, obviously because I'm a 16-year-old teenager, but in this day and age, I don't. Yeah, of course I love kids. I want to have kids, but if they're going to grow up to have an eating disorder or to cut themselves or to burn themselves or anything self-inflicted or to have any mental illnesses that are produced from the way society portrays how a beautiful woman should be, then I don't want my child to grow up like that. I don't even understand why society would count would make this as a portrayal of beautiful young female, and this is how every female should be. Once depression is recognized, help can make a difference for 80% of people who are affected, allowing them to get back to their regular activities. But depression is like asthma. It's an illness. You can treat it with the right medications, but it's not ever fully going to go away. You're always going to get that little deep thought inside of your mind saying, oh, maybe I'm not as beautiful as she is. And there are always going to be times where it's going to be really hard. And yes, maybe help does create a difference for 80% of people who are affected, but there's more than 80% that are affected, and I believe that there's more than just 20% that aren't affected. I believe that a lot of people who have an illness don't want to talk to someone. I mean, if I had an illness, I wouldn't want to talk to anyone. Like, everyone's just trying to tell you that you're wrong. I personally hate doctors. They're just there to tell you every reason you're doing something wrong in your life. Yes, of course, they're good for when you have, like, a 9-inch gash in your leg and you need it sewed up. Or when you're coughing and spewing blood from your throat and they think that you should be on antibiotics. Yes, they're perfect for that. But if you go to a doctor, I have a friend, and she has this doctor. She has, like, she's clinically depressed. And she's on different pills for it. This doctor basically hasn't seen her, and she's given red cards. And for those of you who don't know what a red card is, it's basically when this girl that I know, when she gives a red card, her mother has to rush her to the hospital because it means she wants to kill herself. And yes, I think that some of the help is helping her, but not all of it. She still thinks the way she thinks is because that's how she's thought. That's how she's always thought. Like, she can work to make it better, but it's hard. I can see how hard it is. And the fact that suicide is among the leading cause of death in 15 to 24-year-old Canadians is just sick. 4,000 people die prematurely each year because of suicide. 4,000 people each year commit suicide. Maybe more, maybe less. And that's just disgusting. In Canada, only 1 out of 5 children who need mental health services receive them. Which means, like, you could have, say you were a 34-year-old woman who had 7 children. Say that you have 7 children. And they're all 14, 15, ages around there. They descend and whatnot. But basically, if you had 5 of your children who had a mental illness, only 1 of them would get help. Because I'm guessing that 3 out of those 5 can't afford it, but they don't tell their parents, they don't tell their friends, they just let this disorder eat them alive until one day their parents come in and they're dead on the floor. And 4 out of 5, that other one, those 3 that won't tell, that one that just does not have that money. A lot of people these days do not have enough money to pay, and a lot of us, like Canadians, we live in a really, really good country. We have health benefits, but sometimes you can't get those. See, like my boyfriend's mom, she has 5 kids, she works at A&W, she does not have benefits. She has to pay for every time that they go to the dentist. So sometimes it's harder for families to get that help that they need. And I just think it's completely disgusting that society would portray Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty and Snow White as perfect. Because, well, Sleeping Beauty, she's not perfect. Neither is Cinderella, neither is Snow White, neither are any of those Disney princesses. They're society's version of perfect. Perfect can be anything. But, being popular and being rude does not have to mean the same thing. I've heard a lot of popular girls make fun of girls for no reason. We were actually watching Odd Girl Out at school the one day because it is a film about bullying. And we're trying to get across that bullying is bad. Well, I heard 3 or 4 of the popular girls in my school, in my class at that time, laughing at this girl because she felt alone. She felt sick. She was upset and she tried to kill herself. Like, that was just completely rude. And I could not fathom how they could laugh at such a thing. Yeah, maybe the way she was running when she was running from them was funny, but if they were actually thinking that, like, about how she was feeling, they'd finally realize that not everyone is as happy as them. And maybe they aren't even happy about themselves. And I don't know, I just figured that I should say something. Not all people who are ugly are actually ugly. I look at myself sometimes, and admittedly, I'm not happy with the way I look. But I have people every day coming up and asking why I'm so beautiful and telling me that they love my eyes or my hair or my smile. And I guess it's just the mix between my flaws and all those things that make me look pretty that do make me beautiful. And it's, say you could be a little overweight. So what? Really, I don't think fat people are ugly. I don't think anyone's ugly. Everyone has something about them that's beautiful. I have this one friend who has a big nose, and he's one of the cutest guys I know. It just makes him cuter. I have this one friend who is a bit shorter than a lot of people, and she thinks that it makes her look fat, when really she just looks so cute and so cuddly, and I just want to hug her all the time. And I hear all the time from my mom. She'll come in and ask me, oh, how does this shirt look on me? And I'll be like, it looks good. And she's like, oh, you don't think it makes me look like a fat cow? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, Mom, you have no idea how this impacts me. Well, if Mom thinks she looks like that, maybe I look like that. And I can almost guarantee a lot of people are going to just scroll right past this video because I don't look very good right now. Honestly, I came from school and I was having a really bad day. I've just been tired all day, and I don't know, I'm really bitchy lately. But I was reading in my parenting class about this thing that was about how this little girl and so many little girls want to be like Cinderella, and it sickened me. Why is Cinderella so goddamn beautiful? And have they ever made a fat princess? No. Why not? What is wrong with someone being overweight or having more weight on their body than someone who is legit stick thin? I personally, yeah, some people I know are really, really thin, but that's just their body type. Some people are bigger, but that's their body type. There are 3 main body types, and everyone falls into at least one of those categories. But there could be certain circumstances that create someone to be the body type that they are. There are girls I know that are really skinny, but that's because they're only allowed to eat when their parents eat. That's because they're only allowed to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's it. They don't get all the other things that they need or want. I know people who have no rules in their house, so they can eat whatever. And they have really low metabolisms. I'm sorry if that makes them fat. I don't even like the word fat. I watched one of my best friends carve the word fat into her thigh. No, I didn't sit there and watch as she did it, otherwise I probably would have freaked out on her. But we change in the same room. Yes, we're girls. It's not disgusting. But when I saw it, I don't know, it baffled me. And I'm not going to say anything because that's just going to make her feel worse about it. You know, all those pictures of people cutting for Bieber. Justin Bieber smokes pot. Woohoo. Get over yourselves. You're 15, 14, 13, 12. You don't want that on your skin forever. But then everyone's all like, oh, well, the emo girls do it. I didn't see it as such a problem. Emo girls have reasons for it. I saw this one video on YouTube about this girl who, her mom had committed suicide in front of her when she was like 6. And her dad was coked up. And yes, she cut. But in that situation, it's kind of hard not to. In situations where your parents split up and it's really hard because all the pressure's on you, yeah, you're gonna cut. But cutting for a celebrity who smokes pot, that's just pathetic. It doesn't make you cool. It's not gonna make him like you, so stop. And stop mocking girls who self-harm themselves. It's not right. That's my mommy. But yeah. 1 in 10 men and women with eating disorders receive treatment. Only 35% of people that receive treatment for eating disorders get treatment at a specialized facility for eating disorders. Up to 24 million people of all ages and genders suffer from an eating disorder. Eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of any mental illness. And there was this one documentary thing that I watched about this girl who was literally afraid to put weight on. Everything she ate or drank, she would throw up. She used to put her hand back in the toilet and scoop up the puke and put it back in her mouth just to make herself throw up again. She was literally maybe this thin around here. She looked absolutely disgusting to me. She had a lot of people helping her, but everyone was afraid that she was gonna die. And I honestly don't know if she did. I couldn't make myself watch the rest of it. And trying to talk to someone who has an eating disorder is really hard. You can't just say eat and they won't. They think they're fat. Are you gonna eat if you think you're fat? No. So the best way to actually get through to someone like that is to lend them your hand. Tell them that you're there if you need them, or they need you. Wow, I'm tired. Be a friend and hope one day that they'll get the help that they need. Tell them that they need help. Say it in a nice way though. And if any of you need help and are suffering from anything, you can inbox me or message me or leave a comment. And I want to hear some of your stories, because really this is a topic that hits home to me because I know so many people who suffer from eating disorders and depression. And I just think that society's view of what is perfect and what is not is disgusting. And I hope that you agree with me. So subscribe, leave comments, like my video, and I hope to hear from you. Thank you guys.